In 2018, I wrote a blog called Do Not Move Off the Sidewalk, Holding Your Space in a White World, where I challenged Black people and people of color, particularly Black women and women of color, not to move out of the way for a non-melanated person for 48 to 72 hours and see who was expected to yield their space first. There used to actually be laws on the books where Black people had to move off of the sidewalk to allow a white person to pass. And to this day, there are many non-melanated people that feel like Black people have no right to be in space. We have seen this with the barbecue Beckys. We see it when Karen calls the police on Black people or people of color simply for existing. And sadly, we saw it with Ahmaud Arbery, where 3 non-melanated men felt that he did not belong in that neighborhood simply for jogging. And so that's why this challenge is very important. I would love to issue this challenge again, and for Black people and people of color to do this challenge for the next 48 to 72 hours. And white people, I want you to think about how you exist in space. Do you expect for Black people and people of color to yield to you and to make space for you? And if so, why? Please come back after you do this challenge and let me know how it goes. And please know, Black people and people of color, you are here and you deserve to be here. Continue to take up space.
Good evening. Thank you for joining me for Conversations with Taz on Think About It Thursdays. I know she put this as a challenge. This is just my way of life. Earlier this week, I still have to edit and get the pictures out. Please bear with me. It's been a crazy week. I went to my county fair, and there was a white woman who just felt so entitled. She wasn't even paying attention to where she was going. And she almost ran into me. And I was like, "Excuse you." And when she corrected herself, I said, "Thank you." And she complained as I continued to walk by. We exist. We don't have to move for you. And I don't move. But I want to replay a video from last night because it was the ending video. And in case anybody checked out quickly and didn't come back and watch the whole show, I want you to get this information. So let me play this video and then I'll be back in about 45 seconds.
If you use Facebook Messenger to send private messages to your friends or family, don't. No social media messaging app is going to be completely private, even if they claim to be end-to-end encrypted. Facebook just handed over messages between a mother and daughter about abortion pills to the Nebraska police, and now they are facing felony and misdemeanor charges. Jessica Burgess, 41, allegedly purchased abortion pills for her 17-year-old daughter online, and one of the 17-year-old daughter's friends saw her take these pills and tipped off police. Police got a warrant and demanded Facebook hand over their messages, which they did. The mother and daughter have been arrested and are charged with performing an illegal abortion, concealing a body, and falsifying information.
Now, I do have a few questions regarding this video. What body did they conceal? And what kind of friends do you have? because evidently the daughter felt comfortable enough to also share this with her friend. And this is what I've tried to warn people on this platform and other platforms about. We're going into the next era. We had the Salem witch trials, we had McCarthyism, where people will sell you out for status, for clout, for a paycheck, to just get close to somebody in power. Exactly. Like, wow. But realize this is what people will do. People will lie on your name. And for staunch conservative Republicans who believe that outside of Trump, Reagan is the best of the best, look at what Nancy and Ronald Reagan did during McCarthyism to their own fellow actors and actresses. It's not about the truth. It's all about power. But tonight, I am not alone. Dun, 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 dun. We got D-Mac. Let's go into this next video. It talks about workplace sexism. Let's get into it.
You want me to put this on? Why? Because it's cool?
I get a lot of emails.
What?
There you go.
Really?
There you go. Okay, everyone's got an opinion about your dress this morning, by
All
the way.
right, well, I'm sorry, but the other dress didn't work, so I had to wear something. Oh, I'm gonna have to change. Look at this. Thought it was light enough. We had this dress on, and it just didn't work, so I had a backup. And that's it. I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's a black dress.
The amount of emails that the news station got and the fact that they didn't tell her before it was time for her to go in front of the camera, like, hey, we're getting backlash, or them standing behind her and them embarrassing her online. This is what we women talk about. Go ahead, D-Mac.
So, I really want to know, is it because y'all won? For the men who probably emailed, was it because she wouldn't give you the time of day? And for the women who emailed, were you that butthurt? No tea, but I'm just like, were you that butthurt? It's a dress. Would you have rather her going out there naked?
And everything was covered. It was a black dress. Everything was covered. She was more covered in her dress than I am right now in this tank top.
I'm just like, it seems like both of the home people were sitting there being hella pressed that, oh my God, she should not be wearing that. I'm like, what is the damage? At least she had something on.
But did y'all want her to stay in the original dress that made it appear that she was naked because she was blending into the green screen behind her? Because there is an overseas news network that's called the Naked News, where they literally strip down while they're telling you the news. You would lose your mind if you saw that. So you're so comfortable in your United States bubble and you force yourself to believe the rest of the world is that way. How would you feel if the Naked News was here in the United States and they get the most gorgeous of the gorgeous women who are also qualified for their jobs? I'm not taking away from their qualifications because of how they look. Gorgeous women can be intelligent, baby. And I know appearance can be subjective. And I know I call a lot of people gorgeous. Take it with a grain of salt if you want to. But I've seen the news broadcasts. And I've been able to focus on the news. My question is, would you be able to? Because we sexualize in the United States the human body so much that y'all get offended by a woman breastfeeding her child. But then want to scream at a woman who gives her child a bottle of formula. Make it make sense. Pick a side.
Hey,
you know what?
Brittany.
And she wasn't hurting anybody. She was doing her job. The first dress that she had, excuse me, that she thought would work. And I know many a journalist, many people who work for news stations, especially close to where I am right now. And they tell me they keep extra sets of clothes because they could go and this color, this pattern could have worked on a different outfit 100 times. And then they come in and all of a sudden it doesn't work. And then they got milliseconds to go change and come out and make it do what it do. And they did not have to do that woman like that. When she said, oh, is it because it's cold in here? They could have said, yeah, we just want to make sure you don't freeze. But no, we've gotten a bunch of emails. First of all, you should have told those people emailing in to go to hell.
I weep for this society sometimes because it really gets on my nerves that y'all will sit here. Okay, here's the thing. And this is for all the men out here because all of y'all are ridiculous, myself included. You tell your girl to cover herself up, but then in the very same breath, you want her to look good while she's going out with you. Make up your minds. She cannot do both.
Here's the thing. Here's a perfect segue because D-Mac already knows this story. I've told him this. I have an ex-husband that all of a sudden wanted me to dress like I was off of Little House on the Prairie. Y'all, we met because of a threesome. I didn't have a stitch of clothes on when this man met me. And I found out he felt this way because I was going to lunch, and D-Mac will tell you, I have a regular lunch schedule with my daddy and different people in my family. I was going to lunch with my daddy. I was wearing a dress that my younger brother had bought me. I like the dress. It's a cute dress. And keep in mind, my brother bought this for me. Any woman out here, brother, you know they ain't buying you nothing that's going to show off none of the goodies. But it was a comfortable dress. The only thing that was missing was some pockets. I'm telling you, all the comfort points was there. It was good for any temperature. The length was great. The fabric was super breathable. He did his thing. You know, this man was like, can you put something else on? No, the fuck I cannot. My daddy know what my birthday suit looked like. He been changing my diapers and giving me baths for, I'll walk out here booty butt asshole naked. I don't care. And my daddy raised this petty. You think he would bat an eye? He'll just be like, who argued with you? I'm going to stop at the TJ Maxx because, yes, my daddy is at that age where he puts the in front of everything. I'm going to stop at the TJ Maxx. You want leggings and a graphic tee or you want to look like an adult today? Which do you want? That's all he would have said. Booty juices would have been all over his Lincoln in the front seat. He wouldn't have cared. I'm going to pull us from the stream because there's about 2.5 minutes worth of video that I need you all to pay attention to. Please share this with your friends. We're going to start at 13:07.
First of all, average intelligence of an Andrew Tate stan. And yeah, you're right, he's not a human traficer, but he is a human trafficker. Everything I'm about to say is not speculation or like he was joking. These are all things that he's said fully and they are true. He lies to the women and says that he wants a serious relationship with them, but he's actually viewing them as property to plug into his sex work business. But they're not interested in sex work, so he convinces them to move to Romania with him, promising them a life of luxury, and then when they move out there, he says, hey, by the way, you gotta do sex work. And if they say no, well, he can flex his power that he can pay off government officials or cops to get rid of any crimes that he commits, which, that sounds like speculation. No, he literally did that with his casino. He paid off the police chief and multiple government officials so that he could continue skirting COVID regulations and making money when he should have been locked down. Bankrupted the casino, by the way, that he didn't even build. His daddy gave it to him. So seeing all that, no, the women can't say no, because if they do, he can do whatever he wants to them without any consequences because he'll just pay off the cops, like he has done. That's the definition of sex trafficking, by the way. Literally. But you're too stupid to understand that, and your dumb little piggy brain is gonna eat up whatever he says.
Okay, so let's start in 2016 when he was on the reality television show Big Brother UK, and he was evicted from the Big Brother UK house when a video from 2012 surfaced of him beating a woman with a belt, calling her a whore, and telling her to count her bruises. In the video, he hits the woman repeatedly for not listening to him, and he rebutted the abuse claims, saying that they were laughing the entire time, which is entirely false. The woman doesn't laugh once, instead she cries upon being struck by Tate. And if that wasn't enough, in 2017 he was banned from Twitter after defending Harvey Weinstein and criticizing the hashtag #MeToo movement. He says, in quotes, if you put yourself in a position to be you must bear some responsibility. Since being banned, he has been able to create 3 other accounts on Twitter, one of which was verified, and all of these accounts are currently banned as well.
I was getting on a plane and I could see through the cockpit that a female was a pilot, and I took a picture and I said, most women I know can't even park a car. Why is a woman flying my plane? And they banned me.
Later on, Tate moved to Romania with his brother Tristan in order to escape the 11 charges that UK law enforcement had against him. He said that 40% of the reason he moved to Romania was because the hashtag #MeToo movement wasn't as strong there and it was easier to get off charges. He said, "I'm not a rapist, but I like the idea of just being able to do what I want." Andrew, I have a little bit of a tip for you. If you're going to start off a sentence with "I'm not a rapist" and follow it up with the word "but," then you might just want to scrap that sentence entirely. It sounds to me like if he had charges that he was trying to flee from, then those charges probably held water in some capacity.
Doesn't that sound familiar? Bankrupting a casino, trafficking women, abusing women, disrespecting women. And let's forget that Andrew Tate also runs an MLM, a multi-level marketing corporation. That's why you see so many videos of him all over the internet, because he's making money off people who are guzzling his glizzy. Go ahead, I'm gonna mute myself. Take it away.
I'm trying to Brittany, you may want to plug your ears, girl. You may want to plug your ears. This might be too much for your holy ears.
Well,
So
she got out the house today. She ready for this. She ready. Go ahead.
okay. So, Mr. Tate, I'm going to say this to you with every level of non-compassion that I have for you, because I block every time that your videos come across my YouTube Shorts timeline. I will literally report and block it for every violation I can think of. But let me explain something to you. The very day that I'm able to see you in the street, you better be wearing some lead pants, because I'm going to literally knock you down and drag you with your balls across the pavement. Because the very fact that you're sitting here saying to women that they're idiots, they're stupid, they don't know how to do anything, baby, I am very sorry that your mother pushed you out. I wish she had swallowed you. I wish on every God's green earth, every planet, every universe, every multi-pocket universe, that your mother decided, I'm just going to kill him in the womb, because I have already seen that he is a worthless piece of shit. And anybody who sits underneath you is also a piece of shit. And I don't care whatever happens to you. If somebody walks up and shoots you right in your head, I am going to throw a party at my house. And I mean that with every ounce of my being, because you are utter and complete trash. And the very day that somebody says that you're not trash, I'm going to look them in their eye and I'm going to punch them dead in their face. Okay? Thank you for listening. Have a good day.
And my thing is, I know I'm the type of woman that terrifies him. You could offer to fly me anywhere. I can fly myself back. And let's say, in the off chance, because this has happened to me, where you decide to take my cards, shred them up, go through my wallet and look for money, my family loves me. With I'm not even gonna say within the hour, within 15 minutes, I'm gonna be on the first thing smoking to get home. And I'm not gonna be alone when I'm on the first thing smoking to come home. Because there was someone who acted like Andrew Tate before there was an Andrew Tate, that unfortunately I found myself. And at this point, I call a situationship. They messed up because I was on Facebook video chat with a good friend of mine, and she knows the family. And she was like, oh, hell no.
I'm going to turn on a fan. I'll be right back. Because I'm
D-Mac knows the brother that showed up. Play with it if you want to. You're going to run across the wrong one, Andrew. You're going to run across the wrong one. Because there are some of us that, one, we'll fuck you up on our own. And two, we got relatives that are too close to us that are going to fuck you up. And when I tell you, when my brother came up and through, oh, you came back quicker than I thought. D-Mac can contend to this. My brother went through every inch of that apartment and was like, oh, he was doing this. When you were leaving, he was doing this. Oh, he's up to this. And to this day, as much as that man hates me, he knows he better not say shit to me. Not because I have the good on him. My brother does.
Like I said, baby, Andrew, you better hope I don't meet you in the street. You better hope. You better hope. Because the gutless wonders that follow you are literally worse and lower than the dust. Because of the fact that y'all are sitting here sucking up his bull, well, you know what? You might as well just blow him at this point. Just blow him. Because that's what y'all want to do.
And those of you all that are a part of his MLM, what money are you really making?
I mean, seriously.
To cut down his videos and put them on your social media platforms.
You're an idiot.
Of is that giving you? But y'all know how much I love coffee. And I know a bunch of people have made comments on different social media platforms that I have because they've seen different coffee cups come up. I'm making a lot more coffee at home. I'm not talking about like the regular coffee that I make. I've kind of learned. I do have someone that's a friend of two of my children who used to be a barista at Starbucks who's taught me like some things like, oh, you like this drink? Let me walk you through it. Now, I can't teach y'all at large because she's teaching me how to make it according to my taste, not how they officially make it at Starbucks. But I'm going to tell you why. I have started my own personal protest. Yes, I know I'm one person, but one person can make a difference because if you remove one pebble from a dam, the whole thing will collapse. Take a look at this.
Today, this is the week of my 13-year anniversary at Starbucks. I was fired. I was pulled aside by my store manager and another store manager named JJ. And I was told that due to an incident where we modified operations and closed the lobby, I am being separated because I did not get my store manager's permission. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. It is a BS reason. It's because I'm a union leader. They failed to provide any details or give me any information. They wrote things that were not true, including follow-ups about my performance that never happened, conversations about my performance that never happened. My store manager, after 13 years, they refused to give me any details about why I was fired. It's ridiculous. I've worked so hard, and that's the least that they could give me is to tell me why I'm fired or why this happened, and they couldn't even do that. Couldn't even look me in the eye and tell me why, and it's really offensive and shameful.
Before you comment, let me give some additional information because I did, you know, I'm nosy when it comes to people's livelihoods. The entire store came together to talk to the manager. The manager ignored them, called corporate, and walked past them. So the entire store quit. Starbucks has hired union busters and are firing anybody that's trying to develop a union. Sound familiar? There's a very infamous case of a union boss that we still don't know where he's buried. We have thoughts, but we have no confirmation. This is capitalism 101.
Which one? There's been more than one, you know.
The most infamous case. We don't know where his body is. We know where everybody else's body is because they've been able to be buried.
There are still some people who've been buried and we
Give me offer.
I know who you met. I'm just saying. There's the other people.
They've
He
been
ain't the
found.
only. He ain't the only one.
No, he is. They've been found. We still haven't found Hawker's body.
Well, I'm gonna guess it's been incinerated by this point. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
Hey, I got. We can do a whole nother show on that one.
But
And
I will. Oh, sorry.
no,
I'll
go
say
ahead.
this. I'll say this because my job is the same way, and to an extent, I don't necessarily agree or not agree. If I'm really smack dab in the middle, I get it, but then I'm just like, at this particular point, what is the harm in having one? I'm like, it'll make it should, because there are some unions who are not great. There are some. They're not saying all of them are thrown underneath the bus, but there are some police unions. But I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Do with that what you will.
The history of unions when it comes to non-white people, but in today's society, let me put it to you like this: when I was managing models, people would get upset, but they couldn't deny because I had the best models, I had the most important models. My models on a video shoot were the only ones getting paid. We're the only ones getting proper lunch breaks, proper hair and makeup, proper everything else. That's what these companies are worried about. But guess who was eating those costs when that was happening for my models? It wasn't the artist. The artist paid me. I told the artist the fee for the girl. I'm just gonna make sure the girls, the guys, and the days and the nays look good on camera. Because guess what? I'm using your video, your photo shoot, as a way to market my people so they can get more jobs so that they can eat.
Yep.
That's what a union does. And what these companies don't want to do, they want to keep skating against federal mandates. Because think about it, how many times have you been on the job and you start your break? Because I learned about this early, like my second job ever. Oh, we're backed up. Come on in and do this. Well, I need to clock back. Oh, don't clock back in. Okay, there's the rest of my lunch break. I don't get to go back and finish eating my food. Now I got to clock in and hit the floor. That's what they want to avoid, because unions would be like, no, this person gets to clock out, hit the floor, clock back in, finish their break, and then come back out to the floor. Your poor scheduling is not the responsibility of your underling.
Yep.
And I also worked for a company who, to avoid giving us proper benefits, everybody on the floor wasn't at a 40-hour work week. They would schedule us for 39.7 hours. And then there came a time where I needed to change my schedule, where I came in early. So I would do all the prep work for everybody, which finally put me at 40 hours. And I became public enemy number one, the target. And I was like, yeah, I got to get out of corporate America. I got to make my own way. And that's why I do things the way that I do now. And there's some people who look at me like, oh, you're a sucker. They're going to take advantage. Nobody has ever taken advantage of me that has worked for me. You want to know who's taking advantage of me? When I take clients that are boomers. And when I take clients that happen to be churches, that's why I don't do it anymore. But that's a conversation for a whole nother day.
Yeah, so now my first day in 2017. Yeah, 2017. Good God. No, 2010. Sorry. 2010. I forgot how long I've been working. I was going to say, I forgot how long I've been working for this company. That's how long I've been working.
Yeah, y'all married now because you done forgot. You done got to the point what both parties done forgot when the anniversary is, and y'all just pick a day like you want to go have a fancy dinner. Y'all want to have a fancy dinner. Let's go pick it. Hey, this our anniversary. People
So,
like y'all got married 6 months from now. Shut the fuck up, Marsha.
so 2010, I went. I now, mind you, I had filled an application for Best Buy before, and they denied me. The second time, I filled out. I got a call that day as soon as I finished filling out the application, which was funny. I wasn't expecting it. So go through the orientation, go through the second interview, say the right things for the third interview with the general manager. Oh, if you saw someone stealing, would you tell anybody? I was just like, who's not going to answer yes? What idiot is going to answer no?
Me, but go ahead.
So I do that, past that, orientation comes. The very first thing out of their mouth is, if you hear anybody talking about their paycheck or if you hear anybody mentioning a union, let me know. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what? Are we in the Gestapo or something? What is going on?
And see, it's been placed into society that it's against etiquette to talk about how much you make. They only say that to keep the underlings from knowing the pay discrepancies. Because if it was so not on par, why do we have Forbes list?
Because here's the funny thing. And see, this is how I know
money. Why do we have a whole magazine dedicated to talking about how much money people have?
Because here's the funny thing is, I have not like my quote unquote class that I worked in. We had all, so like one of them I'm still very close to. You've seen her. I've showed you her Instagram. And we would constantly be talking about, I'm like, girl, you see what they're trying to pay me? Girl. And she'd be like, boy, I know what you mean. They sitting here trying to gouge me. And I was just like, see, this is the shenanigans. Now, here's the funny thing that always makes this cute. I've literally worked for Best Buy for almost 12 years. It'll be 12 years this year. Yeah, it's been a while. And when I got I've seen about 5, I think I can almost say 6 store managers come and go throughout my tenure. It's been that bad. Then on top of that, I've had my pay increase. I got, you get the little penny, quarter, 30 cents here and there. But I have one manager who I think really did see my growth, or see me for the person I am. And he was just like, you know what? I see the hard work you do. I see this, that, and the third. I'm bumping your pay up to 11. Now, mind you, I was at $9 at the time. He gave me a full $2 increase. And the fact that they can't, if you don't know what you're worth in this business, or any business, I'll say that it's not just retail. If you don't know what you're worth, or you're afraid of asking for it, you're gonna get what you get. You have to know your worth in this, in any business realm that you float in. If you don't know what you think that you're worth, and you're willing to ask for it and not settle, you can't settle for the pennies, honey. Now, I'm not saying don't try and survive. Don't get me wrong. If you found a job, at least that'll help you survive, but you're still in constant looking for a job that's going to do more than that, fine. But make sure in each of those jobs, you're like, look, I'm doing this work and I'm trying my best to do it the best I can. And I'm trying my best to make sure that I do a good job of it. I can tell you on the whole, Like before they came up with the system that they have now, and even before this system, there was it was called an MCSA. Do you know how much money I would pull down in a month for this job? Take a guess. I really want you to guess. Just guess. One guess and I'll tell you. Just no, seriously, seriously. I want you to just. I'll tell you, but I want you to. I really want your honest guess.
What, 25?
No, look at that, right on the nose. A month, I would put in. I would literally pull in my yearly salary in 1 month. $23,000 to $25,000 would come through me every month. Because they had a system where they were tracking us doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you at least about 8 to 6 times I was at the top of that list. If not number 1 or 4, I was at least still in the top 10. One year, I think during this was during back to school, and then Christmas time came around. I was number 1 3 times, and the second time was right after Thanksgiving, so Black Friday weekend. So I'm just like, you're not willing to give people what you supposed to give them. And don't tell me, oh, it's inflation. If inflation is going up, so should the pay. It should match the inflation. But y'all are not willing to lose any dollars out of your big pockets because you're feeling, they don't really need that. They don't really need that. That's not for them. I need this money. They don't need this money. Boo, we sitting here struggling. Girl, if I was getting paid $27 an hour, just that, even that, I could at least say I could survive. 16 does not even begin to scrape the barrel.
And that's why they put into your mind, and they've also conditioned, especially Black and brown people in this country,
Who
that
do most of the work.
It's inappropriate and it's disrespectful to talk about your salary. They don't want to admit what's going on. But you know what else? They don't want to admit what's going on.
What?
I'm gonna pull us from the feed. You got 1 minute and 34 seconds to pay attention to this, because we've been telling y'all this for over a year now.
Oh my God. Just watch this.
Part 2, the officers who were recently charged with Breonna Taylor's case were most likely getting paid. It was a multi-million-dollar project that was going on in the neighborhood, and of course, when investors want people out of a neighborhood, what do? They get them out. You don't believe me? Because you can't make this shit up. If you search Elliott Avenue Project, you're going to get this document. This is where the development is supposed to be, and they're supposed to basically turn down and demolish the neighborhood and then build a brand new neighborhood. And they're investing millions of dollars into this project. But watch this. This document was updated on July of 2020. This is the same document from September of 2019, before Breonna Taylor's incident. And look at what it says. The Office of the Community Development, in partnership with Louisville Metropolitan Police Department, continues to explore crime reduction measures on Elliott Avenue with an emphasis on place-based crime prevention strategies. These two, Kelly Goodlett and Janison, their names were all over this. Let me bring this home and I'll show you something. Whose name do you see on this? Again. Where? Elliott Avenue. This project and the
Illegally
city got the homes
obtained warrant.
on for those prices. They got one of the homes for $1. Before Breonna Taylor's incident, they had 14 properties. After, they had 26 properties. They were gentrifying the neighborhood.
You gonna tell them, or you want me to tell them?
I've been telling them. Maybe if you tell them, they'll listen.
Okay, I'll tell them. So the fact that y'all, well, mostly non-white, non-black people or people of color are just figuring this out is utterly ridiculous. I'm like, baby, they've been doing this for years. Years. They've been literally killing off black people, mowing down their neighborhoods. Look at Lake Lanier. It was a town before it became a lake here, people. Did you not know that? Rosewood. I mean, we could go on and on and on. Tulsa. There are multiple spots here where they hold on. I have a picture. Give me a second. I have a picture. See, this is why God knew I needed this. I needed this picture. Jesus. He had the photo. So we have black massacres up till now. We have New York in 1863. We have Detroit in 1943. We have Chicago in 1919, Springfield in 1908, East St. Louis in 1917, Tulsa in 1921. We have Vicksburg in 1874. We have Slocum, I hope I'm saying that right, in 1910, Colfax in 1873, Aloysius. Oh gosh, I'm so saying that wrong. I'm sorry. Huh? Aloysius. In 1868, we have Tribot. In 1887, we have Elaine in 1919. We have Clinton in 1875. We have New Orleans in 1866. We have St. Bernard's Parish in 1868. We have Rosewood in 1923. We have Ocoee in 1920. We have Camilla in 1868. We have, oh gosh, was that me or you?
No, that's me. One of my children that forgot.
It's EUFAULA. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry.
Hold on. I'm sorry. What was that again?
It's EUFAULA. I have no. We have that one in eight. Sorry. My bad to the people who used to live there, who were descendants. My bad. I'm sorry. In 1874, we have Atlanta in 1906. We have Wilmington in 1898, and we have Charleston in 2015. That's if you can see this map, sort of. I'm sorry if it's not too.
And let's not forget about in the 80s in Philadelphia, the MOVE movement.
There have been, like, look at Harlem. They pushed us into that. Pushed us, like physically said, you cannot live anywhere but there. And even now, they're pushing those black people out, all of them, if they haven't done so already, because now it's classy to live there. What is that? Oh.
Yes, you're right. That's you know what? This is when I teach people way too well. See, I got these white people out here, anti-racist than a motherfucker. Yes, antebellum urban violence, Cincinnati riots. That you know what? Come through with the come through. Come through with the come through. Yes. And you know what? I wasn't even looking for a shameless plug tonight, but if you want to be educated and you really want to be anti-racist, come on through to your girls' class. Ew. Go ahead.
So the fact that some of y'all have not picked up a actual book or gone to a library or gone on the internet and searched for something other than what you normally look for, to see that they're literally trying their best to weed out. And I'm just like, here's the thing. At the end of the day, excuse me, I beg your pardon. If we don't create anything for y'all just find ways to push us to create. That's the problem. If we don't create nothing, they're like, oh well, we gotta do something. We gotta do something to get them to do this. And I'm just like,
All they
I'm
do is compound upon what we've already created, or they rebrand what a black, brown, or indigenous person has created and make a new name for it.
I'm just like, y'all. The fact that y'all could sit here and not realize that the trauma, the shenanigans, the shade, everything underneath the sun that y'all have done to people who do not look like you is utterly ridiculous. That's the reason why the world court has charged America with 5 counts of crimes against humanity. 5 counts. You can't even find that article now. I don't know if you can. They've probably done scrubbed it from the internet now.
You have to go to the UN's official. I stopped because
You had to think about it.
I realized where I stand in this and what I can explain and cannot explain. But if y'all remember, a couple of months back, we black people took a stance because there was a contested committee member who got himself murdered. Well, it seems like justice may be on the horizons. There's 2 videos, but once again, I'm going to pull us from the feed so y'all can pay attention to the information that is given. I always provide y'all with information. That's what I'm going to say.
Boy, do I have some tea for you. Pentagon released a statement warning military personnel against at-home DNA tests. This includes 23andMe and Ancestry, warning service members of risk to their careers. Well, why would that risk their career? Given a lot of different.
OnlyFans model Courtney Clenny has been arrested and is facing a murder charge. Back in April, police say she stabbed her boyfriend to death inside their Miami apartment. Since then, police have investigated to see if this was a case of self-defense. She was arrested in Hawaii and will eventually be extradited back to Florida. There is a news conference expected to take place with more details tomorrow.
Sorry.
Really? You gonna cut my thumb like that? Shade.
Well, I didn't make the whole video, but sister girl, after chucking it up, beating on this man, having her mother come through, trying to evict him after the apartment complex was ready to evict them because of all the brutality that she was inflicting on them. She decided, oh, this will be a good time after me going out for drinks with my dad, right after my boyfriend that I went on a podcast and said that I love so much because he's a rich black man and I murdered and was covered in his blood as if I took a bath in it. I'm going to go to Hawaii. And white women, have you all learned nothing? The ancestors of Hawaii, they gonna make sure you get caught each and every time you go there. This is like the 4th case that I personally have heard of. I'm sure there are more that have happened where white women have somebody decided to go to Hawaii and clink clink, little motherfucker, clink clink. Do you, boo boo? But my thing is, I hope he and his family get justice. I'm not joining in the fight. I will not be following this closely. The disparaging remarks he made about black women, and people are like, oh, he changed. No, he didn't. Because days before his death, he was caught in 4K on a podcast, high-fiving the racial tropes and fetishization of this white woman. And even though she had been whooping his ass for years and he's paying bills to the point where they were about to lose their high value luxury condo because of the noises that were coming from their apartment.
So this. Oh, when you finished, I'm gonna play a song that represents black people to him.
He still rode for this white woman. So since he wanted to ride so hard for this white women, round up. Because the fact that They don't even want to prosecute Carolyn Bryant Dunham at this point. I don't give a fuck. If you're going to be a member of the Coontastic Committee, bitch, fry in hell. I don't give a damn. I'm not wasting my energy on you. Take a screenshot, take a screen grab, put it all over wherever I said what the fuck I said, and I mean it.
So here's the song of how black people feel about this man. Last part. I can't play the whole thing because we'll get banned. So I can only play a snippet.
But my thing is, for our black men that understand the black struggle and don't disrespect black women, shouts out to the Queen Mother Angie Stone that said, "Black brother, I love you. I'll never try to hurt you. You know that you deserve that. And I'm here for you for whatever's true. 'Cause you're my black brother, strong brother." And let me not do too much before I
Yeah,
owe her.
again, we can get banned for doing too much. That's why I cut it off after that last sentence.
I don't want to owe her a check. Oh, um, cool. The story of the day. I got inside information, and
Yay!
we're gonna talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about Trump, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all his lies and all his deception. Let's talk about Trump. Oh,
You
you
know,
know
the
what?
contradiction king is in full effect, my good
But no,
woman.
D-Mac, I think we need to make that a sound on the ticker talk.
I'm not doing that. I already gave him no trolls. That's it. I'm done.
First of all, you traumatized me with a lot of stuff. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that tomorrow, and I said it. Don't make me call your mama.
You can go right ahead.
The next story. I'm gonna be on. You know what? I'm gonna miss some things this weekend because I'm gonna jump on the first thing smoking just to give him the skippity paps. Now I'm gonna run out after I give him the skippity paps because I ain't stupid. I ain't gonna stand there for the skippity pap retaliation. I'm going there like a cat and run back out. And I realized on hand for the Uber driver to make sure they stay in place. But here we go. Since Trump wants to lie, we're gonna talk about the Cincinnati attack, and then we're gonna talk about Merrick Garland finding his black bone. Here we go.
We now have reports that a man tried to attack the local FBI field office in Cincinnati. The man entered the facility around 9 a.m. and tried to breach the visiting screening facility. The suspect then fled the scene, and there's currently an armed pursuit ongoing between police and the suspect, with reports the suspect has shot at police from inside of a cornfield. The domestic terror threats are only on the rise in America.
Well, I can confirm between 3 and 4 p.m. this afternoon, this assailant decided to choose suicide by cop. He pulled a gun after hiding on an individual's farmland. Now, a good friend of mine who happens to be a journalist for a tri-state area to me news network was able to interview the family. The family did have to evacuate their property for their safety issues. And this individual, after a 7-hour standoff and firing at the FBI on I-71 north, they weren't sure if he was originally going north or south, so they blocked it off on both ends. He decided to hide out at this farm, decided to raise a gun to end his life. He was also pinpointed as one of the people that was present on January 6th. My God. I can't wait a second. Sorry. I have it over here. Let's get his name, because why does he need anonymity?
Oh, there's one other thing where I would like to speak about once you get a minute.
Yes.
Once we do this.
I can't remember which. So I need to pinpoint one device to do this.
I mean, that would help.
Okay, so his name is Ricky Schiffer. He's 42, and he has appeared apparently on a video posted on Facebook on January 5th, 2021, showing him attending a pro Trump rally at Black Lives Matter Plaza in Washington the night before the Capitol riot was stormed. He also had a plethora of Facebook posts that were deemed disturbing. Hey, FBI, how about you start taking this shit seriously? When we give you warnings that, hey, we're being doxxed, we're being terrorized, we're being hunted, so are you. Hate speech is being used. Social media is protecting hate speech and minimizing us. Maybe one level of policing in the United States can actually protect and serve. Because the same people who told us it was idiotic to defund the police are now asking for the FBI to be defunded. But go ahead.
So yesterday, or sometime in between yesterday, when we found out Mar-a-Lago was being, raided, after our jump dance, I really want to find out how her brain works. I literally want to cut it open and explore how her brain works. I want to be Amy in this sense and cut her brain open to see how it operates. But Miss Candace Owens decided to grace us with her presence. And I said, Jesus, this can only be a clusterfuck. But, whatever.
She needs to check. She ain't had a check in months. Remember her last public appearance where she interviewed Trump and even Trump debunked her?
Oh, on national television. I loved it. Every minute of it. I loved every minute of it. But, darling, I'm going to need you to really sit down, because at this particular moment you're grasping at straws. Because hold on, I can pull up the tweet. I'm gonna read it. Hold on. Give me a moment, y'all. Give me a moment. I'm coming.
I'm coming up. I want the world to know she is full of shit. I'm coming up. Ooh. Y'all really need to take my Sirius XM away.
She says that the FBI must be legally and formally dissolved. President Trump is what happened to President Trump, former President Trump. Orange douche nugget, if you're my friend.
The tangerine tyrannical, the Führer of Trump, the failure of the family, the fucktwat of fascism.
But anyway, is positively stunning and a mark of unchecked government power. Honey, she went through the proper channels, so I don't know what you're talking about. I no longer recognize the country I live in. Then goes live somewhere else. Left or right, we must all come together. Baby, I wouldn't come together with you even if you were on fire. At all.
Because she's the same person that said back the blue no matter what, bootlick, everything else. But then she was anti-vax until she had a baby. Then she was trying to get concierge vaccination status and then wanted us to back her to force somebody to come to her hotel room where they said that's not what we're going to do it. She's also the person that said that racism didn't exist until she was called a nigga by somebody in the RNC, and then she wanted us to come. No, you can't have it both ways, boo-boo.
I'm like, sweetie, you have made this bed. You need to fucking lie in it.
It's not
I'm
comfortable
not.
for her.
I'm not gonna sit here and keep. And we're not gonna. You have cried wolf too many times. We have tried to come and save you. We've put on the cape too many
Ain't nobody
times.
tried to save her. The last time we tried to save her is when she sued them little boys for being racist against her. She took that money, propelled it into an anti-white supremacy website, and then she realized, oh, there's more money for me tap dancing for massa, and decided to flip-flop. And then she decided
And
to
then,
marry a gay man and probably use a turkey baster to impregnate herself, because ain't no way he is able to get it up, let alone come inside her.
again, she has cried. She cried wolf too many times before that incident, and then that incident. After that, we said we done. I'm done. You, Omarosa, and what's her face? Who Miss Stacy Dash? We done. We done. Whatever happens to you happens. I'm not sitting here trying to come cape for you. Because the next time if somebody decides to slap you in your face and call you a nigga again, I'm like, and your point? What do you want from me? Because according to you, racism doesn't exist, darling. Those are your words, not mine. You the one who said it's black on black crime we should be worried about. So that was a white person who slapped you. So what about what do you want? What do you want from me?
Black on black. Yeah, okay.
What do you want from me, ma'am?
True. Real quick, just so you all know, the rest of the videos and the blind reacts and the stuff that you all sent me for Friday, I am going to pre-record it earlier tomorrow. It will air at the same time. Please remember it is pre-recorded. I am going to create a banner to let you know that it's pre-recorded. But y'all, as much as y'all comment and say that you love this show, bring a friend, bring a family member over here to either see you on the show or watch the show with you. Get into it, because a lot of times we break things before it even gets onto social media. Because I've noticed I'll talk about things over here, and then 24, 48 hours later, it's all the rage on social media where you already have the ins and outs. So just come here and get it first. But I digress. Like I said, tomorrow, keep in mind the show will be pre-recorded because it is my son's birthday. So that's where I'm going to be. Saturday we will have the viewing party. Be prepared. Be prepared for Tiny Muscalini because she loves Scarlett. I don't know how that's gonna go. I don't know if she's gonna be cool or she gonna come out the bag on y'all. Um, but come see what happens. And instead of trying to wait for us to piece together stuff, come watch it with us. Come dialogue with us and let us know what parts you really want us to dissect, instead of getting frustrated with us in the comment section because we didn't dissect something as much as you wanted us to. We weren't prepared to do that. If you don't come, we put together our own diatribe, our own, set of points to talk about. If there's something that you're like, oh, from your perspective, can you tell me about this? You gotta tell us ahead of time. Okay? Okay. So final thoughts on the night, D-Mac?
Andrew Tate, your ass is mine when I see you.
Fair enough.
I ain't got nothing else.
And once again, to all my summer babies, and they know who I'm talking about, to all of my summer babies, once again, because I know some people didn't get their individual shout outs because I said it before they jumped into lives. Mama loves you. Mama's here for you. Ain't nobody gonna break you, because even after I'm no longer here in the physical form, I'm still gonna be here in the extra form. And as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. And if you want to keep updates with me this weekend, check in. If you don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram, run over there and get that together. And next Friday, it's going down because my Wonder Twin is her birthday. And we about to get lit. So y'all, be safe, be kind, and be mindful.